Good evening and welcome to SCTV, Simpson College's first student-run newscast. I'm Jake Brend and I'm privileged to bring you this week's news.
And I'm Liv Allen. Thank you all for joining us. James Murray is one of the most unique people on campus. He's a second-year student from Australia, a two-sport athlete, and he used to have a mullet. What happened to his mullet? Jake has the story.
If you go to a Simpson soccer game and find number 20 on the field, you will see a player with a normal haircut. That number 20 is James Murray, and throughout his freshman year, he had nothing similar to a normal haircut.
So I grew it out all from about November of 2020 till the start of September of 2021, so about 8, 9, 10 months.
Most people with a hairstyle that unique tend to never change it. But James saw an opportunity to help others and raise awareness for a good cause.
I kind of looked around and I was like, what can I do? I stumbled across this Mullets for mental health, and I decided I'll do something with it before cutting it off instead of just cutting it off for the fun of it.
So far, James has raised just short of $1,500 for mental health awareness and research.
Mainly to kind of support and find more resources around mental health. Obviously, there's no cure, so the more resources that people have, the more available resources to talk to, stuff like that, all helps, and it goes along with research as well.
James looking to help others did not come as a shock to anyone close to him.
He's a thoughtful individual, and he thinks broader than a lot of 18, 19, 20-year-olds, right? So it doesn't come as a surprise to me that James was trying to bring attention to that cause, and I think he did a tremendous job doing so.
After sporting a mullet for so long, it becomes a part of you. So what happens after the haircut?
When we first moved here, he had short hair. He had like almost a buzz cut when we first moved here. But it was a huge change for sure. It was like, wow. But I think he looks a lot better with his short hair.
When I was cutting it off, I was like, damn, like it's kind of a piece of me now. And a lot of people also didn't recognize me after I cut it off. I met a lot of people when I only had a mullet. So there was a lot of attachment to it, and it was definitely a big blow to my self-esteem.
Even though the mullet is already gone, the fundraising is still going. You can donate to the movement on teamblackdog.org or at the link in his Instagram bio. From Indianola, Jake Brend, SCTV.
Wow, what a great story. Very proud that one of Simpson's own is making such a difference to such an important cause.
It was great getting to know James and learning his story. The Interfraternity Council held formal recruitment 2 weeks ago. Nearly 20 people ended up joining COI, ATO, SAE, and Lambda.
SCTV's Ethan Humble went to all 4 houses and recapped this year's recruitment.
The 4 Simpson College fraternities hosted their annual formal recruitment recently. Approximately 25 students partook in the process and found their brotherhoods within the Simpson community. Each of the houses upholds distinct values that set them apart from the rest.
Each house kind of has their own set of characteristics. I'm not going to get into the other houses, but again, our main target is future leaders. So whether you're an athlete or a leader in drama, music, art, anything, again, we've had people in all of those departments and areas.
Kappa Theta Psi received 9 new members. Lambda Chi Alpha and Sigma Alpha Epsilon each have 5 new commits, and Alpha Tau Omega brought in 2 additional brothers.
Last year, it was really important that Greek life was a thing because I know more than a few people who joined Greek life who probably would have dropped out of Simpson if they did not have this community of Greek life, because last year sucked for first years really bad. And Greek life was able to offer that community that they couldn't get in their first year dorms or with their friends or the SC classes.
The overall success of the recruitment period comes largely in part from the friendship opportunities that fraternities provide.
It's just helped me establish the person I am today, helped me establish a leader, become a brother to anybody that joins, but not just that, but the Greek community in general. Everybody's close together.
And one fraternity took being welcoming one step further by becoming a gender-inclusive house.
We've had a lot of people that just hang out at the house, and a lot of women who were interested in being in COI, but since we were a fraternity and male and only took male identifying, we saw it as a big change to change how Greek life looks and acts and just to make a better step forward for Simpson's campus.
For SCTV, Ethan Humble.
Thanks, Ethan. The sororities are holding their recruitment as we speak. We'll have more on them next week.
Are any students looking for socialization and coffee? Crimson Anchor on the Square is hosting Simpson students for $2 coffee on Sunday nights. SCTV's Sophie Reese has more.
One thing many college students can agree on is that coffee is essential for battling a long school day. Crimson Anchor Coffee Roasters started a new deal called Simpson Sunday, where students are able to enjoy a $2 cup of joe.
My name is Amy Jakes, and along with my husband, we own Crimson Anchor Coffee Roasters. One of our volunteers asked if we could start Simpson Sunday nights because we'd noticed a few Simpson students coming in and struggling with loneliness, struggling with just sometimes wanting someone to talk to or a place to get together. And so she asked if we could open up on Sunday nights for that. And so we have specials, and we're open from, I think it's 6 to 10. $2 for the regular drinks, coffee and cocoa and cider. And I believe it's $3 for the lattes and the fancier drinks, and that's for any size. And we've had 3 Sunday nights so far. The first 2 were a little bit quieter, and the third one, it's starting to take off. So we intend, anytime Simpson's in session, to go ahead and have those Sunday nights, with the exception of Halloween night. We just want it to be a really welcoming place if people want a good cup of coffee or a latte, or this time of year a nice hot cider, or if they just want somebody to talk to or to listen to them or to just hear them out, just a place that they can feel connected. That's what we'd like to have here.
I think it's really nice that people in the community are looking out for Simpson students, especially since we're such a close-knit community on campus. It's just nice to know that the community in Indianola also looks out for us. And what college student doesn't need coffee?
I think that it's super awesome, and it really helps with the inclusivity aspect, and that's actually why I chose to come here to Simpson College, was because of the great sense of community here. I enjoy coffee very much. I'm always at Millie's here, so I think that that would be another great option for people to get off campus and hang out with friends.
Crimson Anchor Coffee Roasters is located on Ashland Avenue in the Indianola Town Square. For SCTV, I'm Sophie Reese.
Great story. And it's actually National Coffee Day today, so I might have to make an appearance next Sunday.
Is it really? As a townie, they have some of the best coffee in Indianola, so I'll have to get down there too.
Simpson announced today the addition of men's volleyball, the 22nd sport within the athletic department. The announcement comes less than a month after Simpson added men's and women's gymnastics.
Current women's volleyball coach, KK Palia, will coach the team when the program gets underway in the fall of 2022. The women's golf team traveled to Lincoln over the weekend, and star freshman Maddie Stryker finished in the top 10 with a 2-day split of 169. That's her 6th top 10 finish so far this year.
Stryker was named the ARC Women's Golfer of the Week on Monday, her first time receiving the honor. SCTV found the star golfer on campus to ask her more about the recognition.
It's really an honor. I wasn't really expecting to make this big of a splash my freshman year, but it feels really good to be recognized and to be awarded for the play that I've been doing, because sometimes you don't always have a great day. I mean, I know I've had a few rough patches this season, and so to see myself consistently improving, it's just a nice feeling to know that the time that I put in does pay off. Well, I feel like shooting well carries a sort of energy, and that energy travels through the whole team, and it motivates others to maybe play a little bit better too, and it's like a team bonding experience.
Great stuff from the freshman. She also won Simpson Female Athlete of the Week. If I had to guess, this won't be the only honor Stryker takes home in her career.
Cassie Nash also took home ARC Player of the Week in her respective sport, soccer. She scored 3 goals in the 2 games they were in action this week. Caleb Gear and Jake shot the highlights.
Sunday evening, Storm at home taking on Monmouth, Illinois. First half, Storm leading 1-0. Cassie Nash in a foot race, and she beats the defender, has a one-on-one with the goalie, and puts it away. Her second goal of the night. Storm leading 2-0 now in the second half. corner kick from Tatum Tremaine ends up at the foot of Cambry Mason, and she scores her first goal of the season. Simpson leads 3-1. Still all Storm. Nash dribbles and drops it off to Jordan Folsky. Shoots, goalie can't get to it. Storm win over the Scots 4-1. More women's soccer on Tuesday night against St. Catherine. Final non-conference before ARC play kicks off this weekend. First half, Storm trailing 1-0. Taylor Johnson fires from deep, but Brooke Scanlon knocks it away. Ensuing corner kick, another big save from Brooklyn. A big day for the freshman in her first career start. Early second half, Megan Roberts gives Nash a great run. She beats the goalie to the ball and puts away an empty net goal to tie it at 1. Seconds later, though, Amanda Elton fires from way out, 1-1 here, and she scores a goal. Storm dropped this one 3.
Men's soccer took a trip over to Galesburg, Illinois, and lost a 1-0 shutout to Knox College. They kick off the conference season on Saturday in Dubuque against Loris. The football team's struggles continues in a loss to Central 84-16. They are also in action on Saturday against Loris on the road. The women's tennis team competed in an ITA Midwest Regionals in Wisconsin. Anna Wanek had the most success for the Storm, advancing to the third round. The men's tennis team traveled to Decorah for the individual ARC Individual Conference Tournament. Peter Walkwitz took home a bronze in the B-flight singles along with Simpson's Male Athlete of the Week.
Women's tennis, football, men's, women's soccer are all going to be competing in Dubuque against Loris on Saturday. It's going to be a showdown between the Dewhawks and the Storm across multiple. Today, I want to talk about a subject that nobody wants to talk about. No, I'm not talking about mask mandates, vaccine passports, or the next election season. I want to talk about referees. Full disclaimer, I probably have zero room to talk on this subject because trust me, I am probably the most guilty offender of yelling at refs of anyone on God's green earth. I've blamed officials for countless losses from my sports teams. I've yelled from the stands saying, just let them play or somebody's going to get hurt. I've booed officials as they've walked into Bill Buxton Stadium, Hilton Coliseum, or my old high school. I've even been an umpire for Little League Baseball when I was officiating 8-year-olds. When I was officiating, I found out how stressful and how much pressure can come with the gig, but that certainly didn't stop me from being heard in the stands. Frankly, I've never really cared or seen a problem in yelling at the refs. I mean, it just comes with the job, right? Well, it certainly does come with the job, especially in this day and age, but maybe that's the problem. Gradiger Terrell Ruthven Ashire, yes, that's one school's name, and that can probably be a commentary for a different time, was supposed to have their homecoming game this upcoming Friday against Harris Lake Park. But due to a statewide official shortage, the game has been moved to another night. All homecoming activities, including the game and the dance, were moved to a different week. That's messed up. When I came across that on social media, my stomach turned. Like my years of heckling and belittling the refs somehow caused this. Even though I didn't directly yell at the refs that could have potentially officiated this homecoming game, I have probably made a ref think about how much he or she hated their job just because I tell them that they suck. And that is just as bad. My goal going forward is to treat refs with human decency because I love sports. In reality, we can't watch or play sports without referees, no matter how much we might disagree with them sometimes. So let's be nice so that some people will maybe want to do this unforgiving job. I'm Jake Brend, and it's my take. Luckily, we had some refs so that we could get some top plays for this week. Starting at number 3, football at home Saturday. Jay Jensen III, that's a name, takes the snap and fires into the back of the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Cameron Jones, 26 yards. First career touchdown pass for Jensen and first career reception for a touchdown for Jones. At number 2, Cassie Nash on the run. We saw this already. Makes the defender fall. Makes the keeper guess. Wrong. She scores. check that out again. She's second in the ARC in goals scored with 6. Now on to number 1. Men's soccer on the road facing Knox College. The Prairie Fire looking to score, but Will Kopp has something to say. He denies access. A big save for the freshman GK1, but the Storm fall 1-0. That will do it for us this week.
It was a big week for the news, and it probably will be next week too. As always, a big thank you to Professor Siebert, Professor Carpinelli, and Professor Steffen for all you do to make this newscast possible.
I'll look forward to next week, but until then, you stay classy, Simpson.